Hey guys, this is Renzo, and I'm here with Hellzone Clan. I've been with them for about a month and a half, and they're pretty cool. So if you want to check out the server, I'll have the IP in the description of this tutorial. So basically, today's tutorial is based on scanner RP, or basically how to RP as a scanner. The first basic question, and probably one of the most biggest questions that I'm usually getting, is how do you get a scanner? It's very dependent for every single server. It's depending on the server and how they do things, because every server does things differently. For example, our server, we have a division called Grid. Grid is basically all of our engineers and mechanics and stuff like that for people who want to do that stuff for RP. So basically what you have to do in Grid is you have to be a certain rank, which I believe is 03 to 01, and you have to gather all the parts to make the scanner, and then you basically have to RP making the scanner for about a couple days, I believe, and then you basically get a scanner and all that stuff. But it's a challenging job to actually get a scanner on the server, but like I said, different servers have different ways of doing things. The second thing is how do you radio when you're online? It's basically pretty simple. I'll give you an example right here. Right there, it's the scanner 1337 has been dispatched into District 2, Sector 3. You can just do something plain like that if you really want to just be plain, or you can actually make it more detailed like this. So basically what it says is scanner 1337 has been dispatched and deployed into District 2, Sector 3, executing normal parameters. That's something more detailed, more descriptive, instead of having something like a little bit plain. But like I said, you guys can do it your own way. I suggest making it like sort of formal to make sure that you know how to RP with the scanner. And with this tutorial, you should be able to do it properly. That's basically how you radio in online. Another section I'm going to be covering is how you commonly use the radio as a scanner. There's different points in the thing where you would radio as you're going through different districts and sectors and all that stuff. So I'll give you a couple examples really quick.
Microphone activated. Microphone muted.
So basically, as you're radioing as you're doing your job as scanner, you can use stuff like bottom left alt to follow people. You can use R or the reload button on your keyboard as to use your camera and everything to RP take pictures. Anywho, he doesn't know what I'm doing. Anyways, so basically what it is that, as a scanner, your basic job is you are Nexus AI, basically. You are dispatched. Basically what it is Nexus AI is the general Nexus in HL2RP, which is the big building in front of me. It's the computing operating system, which is the Nexus. Their AI is artificial intelligence. And basically what it is that as Nexus AI, you are the artificial intelligence, which means that when you radio when it's dispatched. So basically you have to RP properly as a scanner, saying, you don't say I, me, you, all that stuff. And basically what it is that, say for example, I'm gonna go into P4, which is perimeter 4. I just call it District 4 for short, because I don't like perimeter. So let's say I'm going into P4 to do a normal routes or something like that, or normal sweep of P4. I would say this in radio. something like that. You want to sound like, you know, you are Nexus AI, because you can't use me's, I's, you's, all that stuff. You know, you have to use, you don't always have to use scanner 1337 or something like that, or whatever your scanner numbers are. Freaking scanner's spazzing out. Anyways, so you would just do a normal sweep into P4 as you ordered, or as you said, you know, into radio. Oh, screw it, I'm not gonna do this. Yeah, there's some points in City 18 that you just can't go, and I'm not gonna do it. But another thing I'm gonna talk about is how do you patrol as a scanner. It's what you're basically doing, and it's what I just really said just now. But it's pretty simple. You just fly around. It's a simple job, really. It's fly around. But what it is a scanner, is you're really targeted by everybody. Just letting you know, just for fair warning, if you plan to pursue yourself as a scanner or have a character as a scanner, just be warned that you're going to be probably one of the most targeted, you know, people in HL2RP. A lot of ninjas would like to punch you. Trust me, I've been there. I've done it. It's really stupid. It's really mingy. So basically, what it is though, so you're just patrolling a scanner. You basically go around, look for citizens who are doing, you know, anti-civil activities. Like I said, you press R, like you just heard, like this stuff. That's basically your camera. You're gonna RP, you know, taking pictures of people, and when you take pictures, you're RP sending them back into the database of the Nexus. So just a little recap, not a recap, but just sort of explaining. So if you're gonna take a picture of somebody, you want to use some good RP like this. Obviously I spelled blinding wrong, but it's whatever. But yeah, that's basically how you would do it. You know, and other times you can go AFK as a scanner in some servers, but you know, just don't be out in the public where people can, you know, hit you. Rebels will also target you as well. If you're running into P4 or something like that, or into a rebel base, and they see you, they'll probably chase after you and try and kill you because, you know, you obviously just saw them, you're the Nexus AI. So another thing you can do with scanner is you can dispatch. Basically, for dispatching, you would just type this. You type /dispatch. Spelled that wrong.
Citizen reminder. Inaction is conspiracy. Report counter behavior to a civil protection team immediately.
Anyway, so that's a, you know, you can use all the dispatch commands, which are also found in the directory, which is right here. You press tab, you hit directory, go down to commands, combine dispatcher, and there are all of your commands. Another thing you can use for your radio commands is you can actually use code signatures, which is like you see, like we're here, citizen, revoke status, malignant, isolate, expose, administer. Sometimes communities will have sort of code list on their websites, which would explain those type of codes, and you can use them in your radios and sometimes in your dispatches. Just basic things you can do as a scanner, which is really productive for the MPF. My last thing I'm probably gonna do is how to pursue a target. So say if the MPF are pursuing a target into P4, you know, there's just certain places where, you know, they can't quite follow them, or say the citizen, you know, the citizen would escape from. Me, or not me, but you as the scanner could follow that citizen, you know, into areas, and so you'd be able to save MPF, or basically you'd be able to save CP's lives by you going in, because you really are just a scanner. There's millions of you. They can reproduce millions of you. And so basically that's what usually it calls for in sort of situations like that. You would basically follow the citizen, or basically the rebel, or whoever you're trying to pursue, into that district, and you would radio in which district it is, which sector it is. All that information should go into your radios, or your radio chatters. So that's basically it for right now. I'm going to be making another tutorial soon. So keep in mind, keep following me. I'm going to make an Overwatch tutorial about maybe in a week or so when I finally get the whitelist. So just keep in touch with me, and you guys have a good day.